more formal. Hey there, this is Coach Harris. It is 18th of February. We're going to get into the all reading portion of the science passage. All right, so we talked before about how we look at graphs, charts, diagrams, and we want to do all those passages first, and the very last thing you do on the entire ACT is going to be the one passage on science that is all written. For the people that are in the house today, we're looking at passage 2 on on test number 1 for the science subtest. So let me kind of put it to you like this. We want to take from what we've done with the reading, and we want to apply it to this passage. Okay? We want to think about the concept of enough, enough, enough. Okay? But we always, and you may want to write this down, circle it, do whatever you need to do on that paper right there. Always make sure that you read the first paragraph. That first paragraph is an intro type paragraph there for the science. It explains the scientific question of the day, whatever it's all about. I'll give you, for instance, I'm 5'8". Until 3 weeks ago, I was 245 pounds. I'm now 227 pounds. I'm still overweight. Okay, but I won't be for long. All right, so anyway, someone said something to me about it, and I'm like, all right, the real diet is on. So 19 pounds in 3 weeks is not bad. But anyway, back to this. So y'all check this out. So what we want to do, always read the top paragraph. That top paragraph explains what is going on. But let's pose this scientific question to you. Let's say I were to take 2 or 3 of you, and I'd bring you over to my house, and I'd say, okay, here's the scientific question of the day. Why is Coach Harris overweight? Okay, it's not exactly studying the stars or physics, well, maybe a little bit of physics. But anyway, so, and the 3 scientists that you're going to speak to are Drew, McKenna, and Chloe. Well, who are Drew, McKenna, and Chloe? Those are my children. Okay, I would say that they're the scientists that understand how this body was made. All right, so you went to Drew, and you said, Drew, okay, why is your dad overweight? He would stop for a minute, he'd look at you and see whether or not you could handle the answer. He tends to be a little bit of a jokester, and he'd sit there and he'd say, you know what? Dad's overweight because he's too short. Now, y'all, you got to understand, you gentlemen especially, I mean, how many of you guys are taller than your dad? All right, how many of you from the day you realized you're taller than your dad have made fun of your dad for being short? Yes, it's a guy thing, okay? And sometimes ladies, but for the most part, it's guys. The rest of your life, you're like, what's up, shorty? All right, Drew's like ½ inch taller than me. He's like, how's the weather down there? Okay, but any opportunity he gets, I mean, I got guys up here like, yeah, Dad's short. And then I got some guys that are like, man, I'm still waiting to hit puberty. God, come on. No, but anyway, y'all check it out. So Drew's argument would be, Dad is too short. Perfect weight for 6'4". But y'all, I'm not going to be 6'4", okay? Now, that would be his. What you do is you read that top to understand what the question is. Then you read the first scientist's explanation. Read enough to know what they say. So Drew would say it's because he's too short. Then we go to McKenna. McKenna's somewhat serious. She would say, well, you know, my dad, he's overweight because he eats everybody else's leftovers. If it was just his normal meal, he'd be fine. But since he paid for it, he has to eat Mom's half of a plate and Chloe's 3/4 of a plate, and he can't deal with it. Y'all know anybody like that? Yeah, some people are like, all right, that was my dad too. All right, so anyway, so that's what McKenna would say. Now, we're going to read or listen to enough of what she says to know what makes it different. We're not going to read the whole thing. So, for instance, on this right here, we'll read the top paragraph to understand what the question is. Read enough of the first one to know what that scientist says. Go to the next one. Read enough to know what that scientist says different than the first one. In some cases, you'll have a third scientist's opinion. So, Chloe's opinion will be this. Chloe comes over, she looks at me, looks at you, and she smiles. And how many of y'all know that the youngest is always the most spoiled? Yes? Okay. So Drew and McKenna would just be making fun of her, waiting on her comment, everything like that. She'll look at me, she'll look at Dad and say, Dad, you're perfect just the way you are. Put her hand around my waist, I'll put my arm around her. Baby, you're totally right. Let you and me go get a shake. Okay, so anyway, she's right. She gets a shake, does it to her wrong. They have to clean something. All right, so anyway, no, here's the deal. On this all written portion, what you want to do is this. You want to make sure you read the top, and then enough to know what differentiates them. And that's going to be the synopsis of what we do on that one. Okay? Anybody have any questions on that? All right, go ahead and stop that.